everyone. Welcome. My name is Vivian, and I'm honored to be a moderator for today's session. It's been such an incredible ride through the NTEEP training. Whether you're a startup founder just getting started or someone refining your growth strategy, we hope these sessions have been packed with value, inspiration, and actionable insights. So today marks our final session, and while it's the end of this particular journey, it's also the beginning of a new chapter for you as builders, visionaries, and change makers in ecosystems. So we have a very impactful session ahead. So today we'll be discussing about digital marketing strategies for startups by Ursula. So I'll be introducing us shortly. So stick with us, stay engaged in the chat, and let's make this last one count. So joining us today is Ursula. She has been in the IT industry since 1987 and has worked for companies such as NCR, SoftLab, and Oracle. She studied management and entrepreneurship in Vienna, Austria, Europe, where she also lives. She has been self-employed for almost 20 years and founded Ubuntu Soft in 2013 with a focus on digital marketing with websites as her main focus. She is a certified insurance agent and financial advisor and co-founder of Africa's Business, an association to support African founders. She teaches unemployed people in Vienna skills such as data organization and web design stroke development so that they can find a job in the IT industry. Since 2022, she has been a speaker at NTEEP. So over to you, Ursula.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Vivian. Thank you for having me again. I'm long time speaker of NTEEP. It's a wonderful program, so I'm really delighted to be here once again. Yeah, as Vivian was saying already, our today's topic will be digital marketing. And yeah, this is quite an important topic, although some people might not yet see it. So let's make sure that after today's session, you might see the importance of digital marketing. But first, of course, what is digital marketing? And as you can see, it's an umbrella term. It's actually describing all your online marketing efforts, whether that is Google search or social media, text marketing, like with WhatsApp, for instance, email, or your website, also very important, your home in the internet. So to actually connect to your current and, of course, specifically to your prospective customers. So that is digital marketing. If we are thinking about these activities, they are, on one hand, they are true and important for entrepreneurs, like all of you. I know that one topic that comes up again and again for entrepreneurs is funding. So how would I be able to get some funding for my business? And then one thing potential investors definitely would be looking into is not only the numbers, so how much of your product or of your service did you already sell? That is definitely one of the questions. But another thing is, if people are saying they need funds, they need grants, then people might also be just checking them out online. Like, how visible is this company or this freelancer? It's not only about bigger companies, it's for freelancers, exactly the same. So how visible is someone? Are they trying to show what the benefits of their services and products are, or are they nowhere to be found? As Vivian said, I'm teaching adults in Vienna so that they will be securing a job in the IT industry at the end of their studies. And they, for this kind of course, they need a cooperation partner already now. So they do not need to be employed already, but they need a company that would be willing to to let them work on a project where they can also learn something. And I'm always also telling them, although they are not entrepreneurs and maybe, or definitely not all of them are going to be self-employed, I'm always telling them, where can you be found online? Where is your portfolio? Where are you showing people what you are doing, what you have been doing, which projects you have already been working on? And many of them, they are also like, no, I'm not online, I'm not on Facebook. And I'm like, okay, Facebook, fine, if your employers are not on Facebook, then that's okay. But for them, for instance, LinkedIn would be very, very important, and their visibility on LinkedIn definitely also. And so digital marketing is actually for all of us, for everyone that has to offer anything. Yeah, so that's very important. And why is it important? So if we look at today's numbers of population in 2025 in Africa, that's enormous. So there are 1,540,000,000 people in Africa. Of course, not all of them are already online or are looking for something online. That's not the case. But we can see it's about 40% of this huge number. At the beginning of this year, they were already online. They have their mobile phones, they have their internet connections, they are using the internet. If we look a bit more to the different African regions, we can see the internet penetration rate is, of course, not the same everywhere. We can see that North Africa is quite high, but of course the winner kind of is South Africa. They have a huge number of internet penetration already. And East Africa, they could probably improve still. So we see there is a difference between the regions, but that should not keep you from doing something online. I always put the links where you can find this kind of information, this kind of stats, so that you can look it up afterwards if you want to. So just one more point. And of course, these pictures should remind me that, of course, there's also a difference between the rural areas and the cities. So as we can imagine, in the cities, people are using the internet much more than in rural areas. So there's also a kind of difference here. Now let's compare that to the global. So that were the numbers for Africa, but let's compare that to the global internet penetration. And one very interesting thing, maybe not surprisingly, East Asia has like nearly a quarter of the internet users worldwide. So that is a lot. They have an internet penetration of 78.5%, and we can see the average global penetration rate worldwide is 67. So they are even higher, they are topping that. The Northern Europe region, so that is northern of where I am, they even have the world's highest internet penetration rate of 97.7%. So nearly every baby has its internet connection there. So you can see that that's huge. And that's also the development. We will see that developing in all the countries worldwide. And yes, here again, while East Africa right now still has the lowest internet penetration, like 23.5% of the global internet penetration. So why is digital marketing not optional? We just saw the reach. So we saw how many people we could reach, we could be talking to, yeah, whether you want to focus on African countries, whether you want to focus on prospects worldwide. So these are enormous numbers. Then we have the scalability. Imagine you have a product or a service or a shop, and more or less all the local people in your environment, they are already your customers. So how would you scale? Yeah? That is something that you can definitely do with digital marketing. You can reach to other areas in your country, other areas on your continent, and of course also you can reach out to the global customers, depending on your products and services. Then it's also very cost effective, and the ROI, the return on investment for every money that you invest in, for instance, paid ads on the internet, comes back with a profit. So we will see a few more numbers about that, but you can imagine if you would check out the traditional media costs in your very specific area, like billboards, radio, TV ads, very expensive, and then you compare these costs with the targeted social ads like Facebook ads, then you can see there's a huge difference in how much you need to invest. You can start on social media, you can start with a really low budget already, and then increase if it's working well. So this is also a huge benefit that we are seeing here. Then it's the resilient and the adaptability. So like in uncertain times, it says here, we have examples like supply chain disruptions, regulatory shifts. Just think about the pandemic, these years of the pandemic with all the changes. If you would have to pivot your business model, how would you do it easily if it were about informing all your local customers that you would have to, I don't know, to visit or to invite or whatever, or you have your online your online customers, and they normally, the one thing that you have that you would try to get from all of them is their email address. So if you have to change anything within your business, or even if you have something on sale, it's much more easy to inform everyone because you would just send out an email to all of them. Or not all of them. Maybe you have a segmentation of your customer groups, and you just send out an email to those that you think they would be interested in this kind of sales offer. So we want to know what could be the strategy for our company. So as we can see here, although we might think that is something very difficult, actually it's all about what do you want? What is it that you want to achieve? And we see some examples here, like, is it brand awareness? Maybe you're a relatively new company. Not too many people, especially online, know about you and your services or products. Then the first step could even be, let's talk about our products and services and make people or let people get to know us. Yeah? So very important, because if you try to immediately try to find customers that would immediately buy from you without knowing you, that is probably not gonna work online, which it would also not if a customer comes into your shop and has never heard of you before, so they might also not immediately buy. Yeah? So the first step might be you just want people to know about you, and then later when you maybe got their email address so that you can send them a bit more information about you, you send them 3, 4, 5 emails in a period of time of maybe 3 weeks or so, then you can finally try to show them your offer and maybe then they already trust you. Very important online. Maybe they like you, maybe they have the same kind of values that you have, and we will talk about that in a second again. And then it's about, now the chance is much higher that they really are going to be converted to become really customers and not only prospects. Or you might even have customers already, and maybe your goal and what you want to achieve is to make them buy something again. Yeah? Another service of yours, another product of yours, for instance. So you can imagine the strategy might be a bit different for each of these goals, but nevertheless, you would just first have to find out what is it, what do you want to achieve. And then there are 4 steps, so 5 actually. So you have to set up a measurable goal. That means you would, for instance, say you want a specific number of growth. How many sales of your current customers would you like to see, and in which kind of time frame? So what is the period of time that you are going to look into that? Maybe you are planning a campaign. So is this a campaign that will go over 2 weeks or 4 weeks, whatever it is? X number of leads from a piece of downloaded content in 1 month. That would be a great goal in regards of metrics and time limit. What it talks about is to get people into your world, to make them give you their email addresses, normally and typically on your website, which is your home on the internet. You would offer them something of value for them, but not too much. Yeah. So it could be a checklist for something. It could be a guide how to use your kind of product. It could be a short video. It could be a tiny course. Whatever it is, you prepared something of value to exchange it for their email address. Why is this important? Because, as we said, you want to bring them into your company, into your environment, to be able to talk to them at your convenience. You might now say, well, I can do that on social media as well. Yes, but please don't underestimate the power that someone like Mr. Zuckerberg for Facebook, for instance, has. He can shut down your complete account at any time. Sometimes you might not even be able to do anything against it because it's a private company, and all your followers and subscribers on social media channels, they are actually his followers, to put it like this, and not yours. Because if he shuts down your account, you would not have a single way to get in contact with them again, except you were smart enough to, early enough before the shutting down of your account, get their email addresses. Yeah, because the email address sits in your email program, whatever you choose for that, and cannot be taken away from you. Okay, very, very important. Just likes and followers on social media is great for exposure, but the moment something happens, these people are gone. So try to give them something in exchange for their email address. Percentage of old customers buying a secondary product, as we said before, or a specific percentage of follower growth on social media within 2 weeks. So when we are talking about creating awareness, that is a great goal as well. After setting the goal, You definitely have to think about your audience. Why is this important? You might say, but my product, my service is actually something that everyone and anyone, no matter where they are even living, can use, and it would be helpful for them. And I agree, that might be the case. But for your marketing, now this digital marketing in this case, you have to find a specific tone, specific words. You have to talk to your customers. And even if your product is for everyone, please just consider one example. Your your product or your service is for a 20-year-old as well as for a 65-year-old. A 20-year-old man and a 65-year-old woman, they both could benefit from it. What are you going to say? What could you say that would be heard and they would embrace it, the 20-year-old man as well as the 65-year-old woman? So you see there is a difference in talking to these two very different people. And although the product might be great for both of them, your marketing cannot talk to all of them at once. You would use a different language for the 65-year-old woman than for the 20-year-old man. And that is why you have to know your audience. Else, as you can see, you would struggle to deliver the message that's relevant enough to cut through. And if you say, I'll just stick to very generic statements, okay, you could try that, but then you will just drown in all the other generic messages that are out there already. So your message has to be very, very specific. You should even know how your audience is talking about the benefits of your products and services. You should even know the words that they are using. Yeah, so don't always think you are just using the same kind of statements as everyone else, because that might be something that the marketers think that people would understand and they would talk like that, but maybe in reality they don't. So the more you can have contact with some of your audience, some of your prospects, and find out what the language really is that they are using to describe what their problem is, because normally your product and service would solve one of their problems, and also how they would describe the benefit or how they would describe a solution that they would be looking for. And then if you can use those words and that kind of language, they will read it and they will be like, this is my company, this is my man, my woman, whatever, because they are really understanding me. That is exactly what I'm saying all the time. And they actually are saying the same, as if they would be able to read my mind. Yeah. So that is why it is important to know your audience, maybe even group your audience so that you have two groups, the younger male, elderly female maybe, and then you can try to give them a name, imagine how they look like, what kind of personality they have, and so on. We're talking about an avatar in marketing, or we're talking about a persona, just for you to make it easier for you to just imagine this woman, this 65-year-old woman, and then to talk to her directly and to find the right words to reach out to her so that she's like, this is exactly what I need. This is exactly what I want. Okay. Know your audience. And then, this is very important. And I'm happy that we had already, during the NTEEP program, a specific presentation just around your brand. So it's important that you develop your brand, because actually every single piece, and I'm not saying text, it's a really piece of your marketing, should be showing your values, what you stand for, what your message is, whether you are a kind of funny type of entrepreneur, or are you the more serious one. Whatever it is, it's also your values, the colors that you're using, all the elements of your brand that are very important for your marketing, and they should actually be seen in all of your marketing pieces, whatever it is, whether it's a campaign, whether someone would look at your website, whether they would look at posts of yours, whether it's your videos that you're showing them. The message, your values, colors, tone, everything should be aligned, and not like this one day and then completely different the other way, the other day. So your brand also very important. And then, of course, check out your competition, your competitors, or yeah, maybe they are not really your enemies. They are actually, if there is competition in the area that you, for instance, want to start going into, yeah, then it's a good sign, because apparently people are buying these products and services. So there is a pulse, there is life in it. Yeah. If you are somehow, depending on your product and service, but normally if you're somewhere where there is no competition, it might also mean people are not really interested in that kind of service or product. Yeah, so competition is not bad. And also you can check out your competition. What are they doing? Yeah, so you can copy what you like, what they are doing, and you can maybe see some mistakes where you are like, no, that is not good, and you can avoid doing the same thing. Yeah. And competitors, you have direct ones, indirect ones, depending. So if you will look at the examples, Coca-Cola and Pepsi, they would be direct competitors. Indirect would be like Coca-Cola and Red Bull. By the way, an Austrian brand. The guy was from Austria, from Salzburg. So both are drinks and talk actually to the same kind of customers. And then the example of like Coca-Cola and McDonald's. So it might seem they are not the same. Coca-Cola is just selling the drink. McDonald's is actually selling food, but nevertheless, people that they would target would nevertheless be kind of the same. Yeah? And they could also get their drink at McDonald's. So look at those and check out what they are doing on Facebook. There's even a library where you can check out all the ads of your competitors, what kind of campaigns they were using. So very, very interesting. Okay. And then step 5, of course, measure. So there is no need to have the greatest campaign to achieve your goal if you are not measuring the results of what you're doing. So measure, it says here, if you have a new blog post that included some video content, so check out how many views did the post get, how many views did the video get, how much engagement was there, were there likes, comments, did people share, how many clicks did your blog get, especially your CTA, which stands for call to action. And that's something that your blog definitely should have. All that you're putting out should, at the end, tell your prospects, this is what you should be doing now. This doesn't have to be a sale every single time. It could be just like, go to my website, subscribe for my newsletter, go to my website, download my checklist that I prepared for you, whatever it is. Yeah? Then the leads from the post, how many people did you really get into your universe? and maybe also increase in leads from that post compared to posts without videos. We are here talking about the A/B tests that are very important for marketers, which means you are normally, if you're planning a campaign, you're normally putting out two campaigns, or actually it's one campaign, but you use either the same picture and then change a little bit regarding the text and see which text is actually more successful. Where do you get more likes, shares, comments, and so on? Or it's the other way around. You leave the text exactly the same in both kind of posts and slightly change the picture. So just to see which picture is actually more successful for this campaign. So it's not about only putting out the campaign and then hoping and praying. It's actually about measuring what you are doing and maybe adapting. That's very important. So this one is also a bit small. I know you probably cannot read it. I will read the 5 points that are here on the left side, what the benefits of social media are. This is taken out of the 2025 Social Media Marketing Industry Report. I will show you where you can get that. That is very interesting. They are always doing this kind of survey once a year, and for marketers, very, very important. So you can see the first one, the blue bar, talks about the increased exposure that is possible with social media marketing. Yeah, very specific now. The green bar shows about the increased traffic that's possible. So the numbers are, the blue one is 81%, 71% for the increased traffic, 62% for the generation of leads, 58% for developing loyal fans, and still 46% of improved sales. And that is something that somehow I said already before, social media might not be the best way to immediately sell something or sell something at all. You can do that if you are having loyal fans already. They are happy with what you're posting regularly. Then they might just click on one of those ads that might directly lead to a sale. But normally 46% also shows that people are not on social media, not necessarily to just wait for your ad to buy something. They want to be entertained, they want to be trained, some educative material is interesting. That's what they are there. And yeah, also to get to know even new companies, that's fine, but maybe not immediately to buy something. Yeah. So you would have that's already very difficult. Yeah? So social media marketing, here we are not talking on, this graphic is not talking about the various platforms, but this one is. It's out of the same, it's from the same survey. And here we have B2C, that means business to customers. So if your customers are actually the ones that are consumers, then we can see Facebook is leading, followed by Instagram, 90% and 85%. If you are in the B2B market, business to business, because your products and services are for other companies, then you can see the leader of the gang is with 87% LinkedIn, followed by 76, which is more than 10% less on Facebook. And then a very, very important factor that is evolving, no, I actually should be saying exploding by the day, is the use of generative AI tools. I hope you're all aware of ChatGPT and other programs. I hope you are using ChatGPT and other programs. As we can see, they found out that 45% of those in the survey said they were daily using AI tools for their marketing efforts. And the number of AI tools is completely exploding. Yeah, so there are areas where there are like 10 new programs every single day, and you would have to check them all out. So that's a bit of a challenge. ChatGPT, I'm using a paid ChatGPT account, which has various versions of it, and I was just thinking I would use the O3 version, which is for advanced reasoning. So the artificial intelligence is now reasoning before it's giving an answer. And you can see here on the left side, please search the web on digital marketing strategies for African startups in 2025 and put your answer and source links into a downloadable file. I also gave you the link for this file on the slides that you can have afterwards, and it came up with this information. So this is like 4 pages. It starts with an executive summary. This is done by ChatGPT. Yeah? An executive summary. What is the digital landscape in 2025? What are the core strategies? And it comes up with mobile first and low data experiences, short form video, and so on. So seven different strategies that are specifically targeting African marketers and their African customers. And then it even closes with a tactical checklist and some references where you could get even more information. So these are articles and so on, where ChatGPT found the kind of information that it put together in this kind of information. And check it out. It's honestly, this was one prompt. And if I would now see things that would be interesting but not detailed enough, I would just continue working with ChatGPT and would say, I would need more details on this, and could you explain this, and so on. So ChatGPT is honestly, I'm working with it every single day, also for my business, not only for my courses that I'm developing, also for my business, even business strategies and so on. You can use ChatGPT as a kind of, you heard about remote workers, freelancers, virtual experts yesterday. So you can even use ChatGPT as a kind of virtual assistant, and even start discussing strategies, and it comes up with great ideas. Of course, be aware that it is not always 100% right. Sometimes we know artificial intelligence starts hallucinating. But if you consider this, you can do a lot. I would like, do we have time? Yeah, a bit. So I found an article. This is the article. I will copy this URL. I find an article, and I would like to show you a program called Pictory. That is one of the programs available that has, for instance, an option of URL to video, meaning I can put in this article URL, this link that I just had. I say I want to have an explainer type of video, but I could also choose different ones. I could put in additional information. It's very small, I know. And then I could say for which platform I would want to have a video generated, which I'm not choosing now, and the length. No, we're also not choosing. So, and then we say generate script. That's the button here. So all I actually did was to put in the URL. Okay. So we are not gonna wait and sit here. No, let's just for a second until it comes up with the story. So now it's the artificial intelligence is going to the article, is reading the article, is summarizing the article. You can see that's a bit more than a page, I would say. And now we could even optimize, rephrase something in here. I know it's too small, but when we are now generating the video, you will see all this text in the video as captions then. So we said generate video, estimated duration, okay, 3 minutes, fine. That will be the length of the video. I can choose the format, 16 to 9, 9 to 16, 1 to 1. If you are especially producing videos for LinkedIn, they should be in a square format, so whatever. And I said generate video. So, and now we leave it. It's working. It takes a bit too long. I would rather go to the next slide, and we come back to this video, of course, to show you where the survey is from, where these articles, these numbers, these stats are from. There is a page that you definitely should check out. It's called socialmediaexaminer.com. I have the URL at the bottom of the slide again. They have a lot of free information. They also have some paid information. If we look at that page, that is the original page, so that I can scroll down. They have the so-called AI Business Society. That's very helpful, but the prices are for their membership is increasing again and again. So they are actually curating, that's the word, curating all they find on the internet regarding AI, and they are putting together trainings and so on, and also have podcasts that you could probably listen into, because the podcasts are for free, and they also already have great information. And I created a little video without sound, so we can just play it and I'll explain what we are seeing. This is inside the AI Society. Yeah, so they have various training libraries where they come up with all kinds of topics around AI. Yeah, so written content, visual content, AI trends. Then I now click on the all recent AI training session replays. So they have all the replays in there. And there was one that said 25 plus AI tools that will change how you create content forever. They were showing that on May 1st. Meetup records where members are meeting, mini training series for various topics that are within the AI frame. And for instance, these LLMs or the notebook LLM, that would be very interesting also, but because of time, we cannot do that. They have resources like tools, and you can see these are all names of great AI tools that these people are checking out for their marketing efforts, for their videos, for their graphics, for their text that is written. This video, I have the link to the recording of this video also on the slide that you can have afterwards. And you can check out the video. I could not get into the AI Society directly because they also have the members on the right side, so I had to cut it off. Else they would not be happy for me to show them all the members. But you can see there is a ton of information in there, and it's you cannot even really keep up with all that's coming. And you see every few days they have a different meeting, an event, a training, a discussion, whatever it is. So if it's not this, if it's not something like that, you could, here's the link where you can then afterwards watch the video again. Try to maybe, because I know the costs are adding up very fast. Yeah, so ChatGPT is like 20 euro, and then Mid-Journey for pictures is like 10 euro every month. And they are, I think, AI Society, if you are now becoming their member, they are up. It's either 77 still, or is it already 97 a month euro? Yeah, so that is really a lot. Or you just try to cooperate with others. Yeah, so that is also something that we are planning for our Africa's business, that we want to support with this kind of information, training, and so on. So before we come to this summary, you have a short summary about our topic here. I would like to see how is our video doing. Okay, I was hoping it was ready, but not yet. Okay, but it's almost done. Okay, super. And this now is actually something that it came up with, and we will check out the preview. The preview still has the watermark and so on, which will be gone in the in the final version. And also you can exchange every single video background if you don't like it. If you are like, what did you choose here? I don't want that. But just to show you what that could look like, and I don't know what it's creating. I hope it's kind of nice. I'm pretty sure you are not hearing the sound, but that's okay. It even took the picture out of the article, if you remember. It has all the text. Some keywords are highlighted. There are the images, the videos, they could definitely be better. But you can see that's it. Yeah? We do have a video that we definitely would still work on a bit, because it's just what AI of Pictory thought would be a great video for this text. If we are not the same, if our opinion is a bit different, there's no problem. You can exchange everything. They have a huge library of videos, and it goes on and on and on and on and on. I might, yeah, so this I would definitely not use in my video. I might just, maybe without changing anything, I might just go on and produce the final video and then also share with you, so that you just can see, and then you have the link of the article, and you can compare what did a program like Pictory, and Pictory is just one of those, what did it do with all the information that we put in there. Okay. Here a summary, what kind of opportunity it is, even if you're not looking for global customers, which depending on your product and service, I definitely would in your case. And if you are having problems with the reputation of some countries, some African countries, then just look to find someone who is a cooperation partner. And yeah, use this digital marketing, find people that you want to ask for some information, for help, for mentoring, whatever. I put my contact data in here. I will, as I said, put down the, we'll give you the links as well. And yeah, that's what has to be said about digital marketing. So back to Ms. Vivian, and are there questions? You are muted.
Okay, thank you so much, Ursula, for that insightful session. We'll now move into the Q&A section. So Karanu asked, what's the best strategy to convert digital leads into sales commitment without seeming to be nagging and following up?
Very good question. Let's assume you do already have the prospect, your potential customer, in your email marketing, your email list, yeah? Because that is how you would have to do it. You would have to start sending newsletters or emails to your potential customer, to your prospect, giving value. So share the link to an article that you think that they might like, or that might help them, or things like that. And at the end of every email, just like this last part of the email, the P.S. as we are putting it normally, you just say, and by the way, if you're interested in, and then you mention your offer, then you can check it out here. So never send a sales email out. That is normally nothing that people want to see. But if you are actually sending out valuable information, tips, articles, great videos, something you heard someone mention, whatever it is, value that you provide, then there is no problem to actually have this kind of link to your offer. And they might not click on the link the very first time, maybe not even the fifth time. You might want to check out. We had last year. I had a presentation on digital marketing tools, and quite at the end of this presentation, I showed a Microsoft study that shows how often a prospect has to hear and read from you before they are ready to buy. And if you think that is 2 or 3 or 5 times, you're totally wrong. That is a number that is, and we would have to see how it is even today, because that is increasing. So let's assume that today we're talking about 25 points of contact that you might have to send out until the customer is really ready to buy. The better your emails are, the more you can use ChatGPT to help you write good emails as well. The better your emails are, the less you sound salesy, the easier and the earlier you might convert your customers. But don't be pushy. That's not working. They would just unsubscribe from your list. I hope that answers your question. Vivian?
Okay. Siham asks, I'm a startup founder promoting my business while also working on my personal brand. How can I separate the two when using the same personal account, such as LinkedIn?
Yeah, that's also a great question. We actually found that people are normally preferring to buy from people. What that means is your personal brand is the most important one. And there are even LinkedIn marketers, you're talking about LinkedIn marketers that don't even have a LinkedIn page for their profiles. They are only going about their personal profile, which has all the information for this one business that they are actually promoting. So it's a bit different if you would have more than one business. But if you have one business, you can put all that into your personal profile. People love to see faces. They love to see the person. They love to hear about your values and everything that makes up your personal brand. And then the services and products would be bought by those people anyway. Whether you have, you can of course have your business page, but all of the marketers on LinkedIn are actually agreeing that the personal profile is nevertheless much more important. People are going for that much more. You can put out information on your LinkedIn business page, put out information, but the engagement and everything is actually happening on your personal profile. I hope that answers your question.
Okay. Brown asks, how do I know how and when to supplement digital marketing with traditional marketing?
Could you repeat the one word, the verb? How do I?
How do I know? How do I know? How do I know how and when to supplement digital marketing? How do I know how?
Okay, thank you very much. So if you are already doing kind of traditional market, first of all, of course it depends on what you are selling. If I'm thinking about you're selling cooked food, then of course, you should not really stop your traditional marketing, especially if it is working. Yeah. So if you maybe have some flyers or word of mouth, of course, is very important in a local area, then just continue that. But if you also see that you somehow hit a limit, that you barely find new customers, yeah, then, or even a bit earlier, I would start with digital marketing on top. Yeah, that might even also be interesting for your local customers. But especially for those who are not in your town, in your village, they might be in a nearby village and never heard of your, for instance, restaurant. Yeah, and that might help you get customers from the neighbor village or from another area of the town. So it's not about it's only digital marketing from now on. It really depends on what you are selling, because your cooked food, it will be a bit difficult to sell to other areas if you would have to deliver it. But definitely also consider it, and that could help to bring in more customers that did not know about you and your products before. Okay.
Okay, so the last question from KS: how do I create a marketing funnel that converts visitors into paying customers?
Yeah, that is a very good question. That depends on what kind of programs or systems you can actually use, which ones are available for you. That's the point. Yeah. So like me personally, I, after years, and that's also something that might just develop over time, evolve over time. After years, I now decided to use a great marketing system that really is including everything that is called high level. But it also comes with a price. Yeah. So they have everything in there. I can build everything there. If I would not have that, or how did I do it before? I would definitely have my landing pages. A landing page is, in addition to your website, a page that has not so much information about your company. It actually has this one offer that you prepared, that you wanted to give the prospect in exchange of the email address of these prospects. So the typical, you might have seen it online before, the typical one page that has a huge picture of what you get. Is it an ebook? Is it a checklist? Whatever. And then the box with put in here at least your first name, maybe your full name. The more information you want people to put in there, the less people will subscribe. Okay. So if it's possible that you first just go with first name and email address, that would be fine. If you are thinking of customers in other regions of the world, like Europe, you also have to consider some things like this GDPR that we have, which is you would have to make them check a box that they are okay with you storing their data, but that's another thing. So a landing page, bring in the customer with the email address, and then you would normally have an automatically set up series of emails that are going out on the first, third, seventh, 10th day, or whatever you choose. Yeah. And if you don't have a system, yeah, it can be done quite a lot with even with Gmail, the Google kind of environment, Google Workspace, the paid one also. So you would have to build it yourself or find someone who helps you build it. It's possible. You don't need really like a huge, expensive system. You would just have to come up with an idea how to do it. And even that you could also discuss with ChatGPT. But nevertheless, look for someone who might want to do some marketing together with you. That's very, very important. We are always thinking we have to do it completely alone. But honestly, that's not the case. We are trying to find solutions for groups of marketers in with Africa's business. So if you're interested, just send me an email and we'll check what we can do.
Thank you once again, Ursula, and to all our viewers for joining today's session. So, without further ado, let me kindly hand over to Jessica.
Okay, thank you, Vivian, and thank you, Ms. Ursula, for that wonderful presentation. It was really insightful for myself and I believe for the participants as well.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
And a big thank you to all our other speakers from day one till this day. Thank you so much. Your time, your knowledge, and your value shared with us has been really appreciated, and we look forward to more wonderful sessions with each and every one of you. And to all our amazing participants, thank you for staying with us through this journey. We hope you've gained a lot from these sessions. You've been able to connect with people, and most importantly, that you're ready to start applying what you've learned into your businesses and communities. While today marks the end of this phase, we're not quite done yet. We'll be having a Q&A session on Monday, and this time you'll be able to ask your questions, you'll be able to share your thoughts and get any clarifications you need. So links for this session will be sent to your email, so please watch out for that. And to stay informed and up to date with everything NTEEP, do follow us on all our social media platforms at NTEEP and on Instagram at NTEEP Connect. And also follow us on our website at www.inteep.org. We'll be uploading the documents from all the presentation on the official website, so do check that out. We'll also be offering a 1-month grace period for those who may have missed any sessions. During this time, you can watch the recordings and sign your attendance. After this period, we'll transition to the next stage of the program. And finally, a big shout out to our ecosystem supporters and volunteers. Thank you for standing and with us and helping make this vision a reality. Your contributions are creating lasting impact across Africa. Thank you once again to everyone. We're proud of what we've achieved so far and excited for the journey ahead. Have a restful weekend till next time.